to my colleagues, and wanted to echo Mr. Bilirakis's kind words right back at you. Mr. Ranking Member, really appreciate the opportunity to work with you in a bipartisan way in our Economic Opportunities Subcommittee. Grateful for the opportunity. Wanted to highlight the legislation to improve the Transition Assistance Program, also known as TAP, H.R. 2326. Appreciate you including the legislation. I introduced this with my friend and the former chair of the Economic Opportunities Subcommittee, Mr. Arrington, who was a friend of Mr. Mulder's. The bill is named after him. And Mr. Arrington represents his hometown of Plainview, Texas. William Mulder, or Bill as his friends knew him, passed away nearly 2 years ago on June 9th, 2017. He was a decorated Navy SEAL of 20 years whose awards include 3 Bronze Stars with Valor. He was also a father, husband, brother, and friend, including a good friend of Mr. Arrington's. The legislation honors him by better equipping service members for the challenges and opportunities they will face as they transition from active duty military service to civilian life. During our Economic Opportunities Subcommittee legislative hearing last month, we heard about the need for this legislation. The Department of Veterans Affairs testified that the authorities this bill provides, such as access to the National Directory of New Hires, will improve the effectiveness of TAP. The American Legion attested that the independent assessment of TAP will help ensure transitioning service members receive the necessary skills and training for a seamless transition. And both the Legion and the Veterans of Foreign Wars voiced support for an extension and expansion of the off-base transition training pilot program to ease reintegration. The bill also creates a grant program for organizations to provide multiple services such as resume assistance, interview training, and job recruitment from a central source. We often hear from veterans about the need for this type of coordination as they must currently navigate several organizations to access these resources. Together, these changes represent a big step forward to help service members build successful civilian careers and lives with a new sense of purpose. I urge my colleagues to support the Navy SEAL Chief Petty Officer William Bill Mulder Transition Improvement Act. Thank you, Chair Takano. I yield back.